volume levels now. That was weird. I had to turn my mic modifier up to 15x to get it to sound like this, which is weird because when I'm completely silent, the OBS is telling me that my microphone is broadcasting full volume, which is very strange. I'm not sure why this background froze. Anyway. So, Space Engineers. Space Engineers is made by Keen Software House, and back in, I don't know, 2012, 2013, they made a game called Minor Wars 2084 that I really wanted to be good, but really wasn't. And so I backed that, or bought it. I don't even remember if crowdfunding was a thing then. But anyway, it was like a voxel-based space mining and combat game, which was pretty cool, but it didn't run very well, and there wasn't very much to do. And then they announced that they were going to make another game called Space Engineers, which kind of seemed like the same game, but starting over, just trying it a different way. So I bought it when it was new, but there wasn't very much there. At that time I was working on Star Citizen, and I mostly bought it because we were buying up a lot of the not buying up, but I was buying copies of most of the space games that were out so we could see what they were doing. And it was pretty cool, but again, at that time, all you could really do was bolt a couple different kinds of pieces together and make a ship that had a realistic thruster system, which was pretty cool, but there wasn't much in terms of gameplay. And this morning, I noticed that Space Engineers had updated, so I ran it. I haven't played it in over a year, and it is amazing now. There is so much more here than there was before. They've added planets, ground vehicles. The shipbuilding is way more complex. Anyway, I started playing some of the tutorials. As you can see here, I got up to the 4th one before I decided to start streaming it. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna play these tutorials and... Oh, there's just one level. I'm just gonna play these tutorials and show you what's up with this game. This is the first time I've streamed while wearing headphones, and not being able to hear my voice properly is really weird. But it makes my mic output much cleaner because I'm not relying on it to filter out the speakers. This seems to take it seems to take a while to load, like the first time I play it, but it seems to be much faster on every successive play in the same run of the game, so hopefully this loading screen will not be something we have to deal with too often on the stream. Alright. Just give me a sec here. Alright, so the really interesting thing about this is, other than probably these, though I don't even know, maybe you can build these, but everything else in these is something you could build in the game, which is pretty neat. Alright, so they've just sort of put tutorials on the walls and built levels to help you learn how to play. So, yeah, there's a third-person view. Man, that sidewalk's a little awkward. Got my flashlights. That thing up there on the ceiling is a sensor, but I'm not sure what it's for in this case. Oh. That's not what I thought that did. Oh, yeah. You can, I could turn myself into a space fighter, I guess, or turn myself into an engineer with no helmet, but I would die if I didn't have a helmet right now. Instead, I'm just gonna give myself a different color. So that hallway, it's using sensors at either end of the hallway that open the door when you first arrive and then close it a few seconds later. So you actually have to sprint down it. And that is, again, something you can actually build, which is cool. Alright, so yeah, you have if you may have noticed in the bottom left corner there, there's a lot of resources in this game. So right now, I'm depleting my energy and oxygen, just using the suit in vacuum. Gonna pick up some stuff. And I'm not sure how, but picking those up automatically opened that hangar door over there. So this is an oxygen generator. It mines ice from space and uses it to produce oxygen, which I am now going to fill up this tank with. So now if I start getting low on oxygen, I've got more. Got these little consoles with 4 buttons that can be linked to a whole bunch of different blocks. I'm not allowed to access that, which makes sense. There's a lot of faction control stuff now, because this is meant to be a fairly large multiplayer game if you want it to be. I'm just gonna refill my suit here. Now I'm full up. Up in this cryo chamber. Not sure what the point is when I can just use that, but there it is. So sitting down in seats will hook you up to the ship's energy system, but I don't need that, so we're just going to keep moving. Sitting in cockpits will also fill up your tanks, but again, still don't need it. Moving on. And this is just a cockpit that's attached to nothing, obviously. Alright, now, get some tools. Now I've got this grinder, which I can use to cut through these metal walls. I'm going to take the welder, which is used to actually like build stuff and also repair stuff. When you place a block in this game, oh, that's what that is. When you place a block in this game, it's just sort of like a wire, a frame of the item, which you can walk on and stuff if you're just trying to build a platform. But you have to use the welder and some components to finish building it. So I got to repair this control panel. There's a level at which it actually functions, and then there's repairing it all the way. So I didn't need to use up all those components, but I'm not going to do anything else with them, so there's space. It's large and empty. Alright, now we're going to do some voxel stuff. Grab this hand drill. This part takes an unreasonably long time. I'm not sure why they made this passage so long, but stand by for a whole lot of drilling. What happened to my lights? There we go. That's weird. Out staying at the bottom of this tunnel when I am done. Stopping there for a second. Half that long to get the point across, but anyway.
Objective complete.
Okay, so that's like the introductory tutorial there. Just for fun, I'm gonna cut down this window and jump into space. I do not have a jetpack right now, so flying around won't be an option. And I've now exited the gravity field, but until then, I was being accelerated out. As you can see, because this is a tutorial world, there's nothing else here. But there's that whole tutorial level just floating in space. I do kind of wish they'd just like, oh, I don't need that. I do kind of wish they'd built a single level that had all these successively, but it doesn't take too long to move between them, so it's not so bad. Oh, that's some dramatic music. I better hurry. So these are rockets. And this is a rocket launcher. As you can see here. And that rocket launcher is linked to this button. So now I have blown myself a little hole here. So that up there is a automated welder that is currently pointing at a piston that is broken or just not finished. So what I'm going to do is take these components it needs to finish that piston. As you can see, the welder is connected to this little chute here. Now it is able to finish the welding job. Oh, right. Now, gotta hit the button to turn on the welder. It's now completed the piston, and I can hit the button, bridge comes down. So now I'm gonna take this steel plate, bring up my... See, these are all the blocks you can build, so there's, like, quite a few. And depending on what you're building, whether it's a ship or a station or a small ship, these blocks will be different sizes. So there's not different size things in your inventory for each size of block. But like I said, they're just a framework, but I can still run across them. I need the welder to finish them. Now I can turn this on, turns on that light, just telling me I need to reverse these rotors.
Objective complete.
Alright, so that's like the inventory tutorial. Now we learn about energy, mostly about how to power it through, or run it through stations, not like my suit energy. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure you will die if you run out of energy, just as much as you would without oxygen. Alright, so there's some uranium in here. That's a reactor, but it's got no fuel. So I'm just gonna dump some fuel in it. And it's already on. Now it's got power to this, to the door. So here's some solar panels, but of course they're covered, so nothing's happening with them. So now I'll move these out, exposing these to the sun. You can see they tell you how much solar energy they're actually getting. These are batteries that work pretty much like you expect. What was that? So now this one will send out power as long once it gets full, and once it's drained, it will automatically start recharging. So these are basically like an electrical board, or a plug, rather. Now see, these are considered two different stations right now, because they're not connected except by this bit of rock. But by extending this piston, I'm going to plug the two together, which for some reason is really jerky until the last minute. It smooths out at the end. We did that the last time too. It's really weird. Now these two sections are connected, and I can raise this piston bridge. Alright. So now we're in yet another section. This side's got power, that one over there does not. So once again, I gotta build some blocks here. That's weird. Thing. Now these two are connected. So I can open this neat door.
Objective complete.
Oh, I had a Skype message. I gotta see what that's about. Okay, sounds like I gotta go to lunch soon, actually. So I guess I will just do this next tutorial, and then I'll have to come back later. Alright. Let's learn all about oxygen. And I am not going to watch that video. It's just opens a Steam window. I'm not even sure it would show up on the stream since I'm streaming the game. Alright. Ice, which I could mine to get some ice out. That's weird. But they've already left some laying around, so I'm just gonna have that.
Inventory full.
As you can see, the size of the piece indicates how much there is, and when I didn't have enough room for this one, it just left a smaller size piece behind, which is nice. Now I should be able to. Oh, right, the hatch is on the back. Now I can dump this ice into the oxygen generator. Power that up. So this is an air vent. It's now processing that ice in order to fill the room with oxygen. If you look at the bottom right of my HUD, you can see there's an oxygen indicator inside the gravity indicator. And as this fills up, it's now got plenty of oxygen. And I could take off my helmet, which will allow my oxygen to refill in my tank, I think. It doesn't seem to be though, which is weird. Those are oxygen farms. They're solar-powered oxygen generators that don't require ice somehow. So I'm just gonna hit this. It's gonna pull aside, cover. Rise up into the sunlight and start producing some oxygen. The room's filling up. So now those are off stockpile mode. The vent is no longer pressurizing the room. I haven't actually played this far, incidentally, so this is now new to me. So I'll fill up these oxygen bottles. I've got plenty of air. Actually get in that ship, but as you can see there is a oxygen generator attached to the small so I believe what it's saying is I can get out of my cockpit and fill up a tank from there, but you wouldn't be able to send a tank back into it through that little tube there. Not sure where the terminal is for this oxygen tank, but whatever. Medical station. Alright, so as you can see, this frame naturally is not holding the air into this room. So I gotta weld it shut. Oh. Yeah, so fortunately that, what am I missing now? Oh, there it goes. The vent is not stupid enough to pour air out into a unsealed room. Now that it's sealed, it's pressurizing it. And it would once again be safe to take my helmet off here.
Objective
Alright.
complete.
So, I gotta go take my roommate to get lunch. I will continue this when I get back, because this is really freaking cool, and I am loving it. Enjoy space.